Hey everyone, Forever Counting Love here. This is Anthony.
I'm Serena.
Serena is here. Thank you, because it would be so hard to do this by yourself. It just wouldn't make sense. But we are episode 3, and we're just telling our story, right?
Our story.
Our story. We tried to get if you were gonna make a movie of us, who would play you?
I don't know.
I have no idea who would play me either. Probably like John Goodman or something. So, I don't know.
What was the lady from Saturday Night Live with John Belushi with the big hair?
Rita.
No, not Rita.
She's passed on.
Right, she was Dad's favorite lady from Saturday Night Live.
It'll probably come to me in the middle of this episode.
Probably her.
With the curly hair?
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't remember her name though.
Okay.
Her last name is Goodman, not Goodman.
No. So, with a G.
Yeah.
Anyway. So episode 3, and we're up
to the wedding. I'm glad you had a good time.
You were there, weren't you? We were there together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you were in the last episode, we ended we were talking about the rehearsal dinner, and that was actually fun. I remember it was fun.
It was.
And so then we kind of went our ways. Did you come back to the apartment and get some stuff?
I got my clothes and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. That seemed weird, not being together the night before.
Yeah, just because we've lived together.
Yeah,
and it was
it was so weird. Not that I don't know. It just felt awkward. I can't think of the word. So,
well, and what was even weirder was I wanted to take Anthony his gift that I'd got him, and I remember telling my mom and everybody that I was going over to drop off your gift. And my mom's like, "No, you can't go over there." And I'm like, "Why? It's bad luck for you to see Anthony or whatever." And I was like, okay, whatever.
Some people may believe in all that, but I don't get. I'd rather just gone to bed, me and you, and
got up the next day.
Got up tomorrow morning, and we'll just cruise down to the church and see what happens.
Yeah.
but anyway, so I go to the which I know it was difficult because it was your brother,
my brother-in-law,
Jeremy, which was married to married to her sister Jessica, and my best man Tim, my best friend that I grew up with.
Jeff.
But he didn't stay the night.
He didn't?
No, he came over and he hung for a while.
Him and Kara had already gotten married.
Yes, they were already married. And he came and he hung for a while, and then he went back home, and we'll see him tomorrow afternoon, And and I remember that night we literally played video games. Just I don't even think we there may have been some alcohol,
I'm sure because Jeremy drank at the time.
But I remember he had a hard time because
because Caitlin was born.
Yeah, he just had a newborn baby.
She was 8 months old because her and Ty are May to March apart. So she was 6 months old, 7 months old, something like that. And my sister.
Oh man, shoot, they were going through it, you know. And if I remember, I think he left a couple times and went back to your mom's house. Which from where we lived to your mom's house, it was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So he just hauled butt down the road and he came back, and I think he did that a couple times. And I swear, I don't think he stayed at our place the whole night. I feel like he went back to your because the baby and everything, and and I get it, but we weren't really doing nothing,
Yeah.
Did you want a bachelorette party?
No, because I was pregnant and I was sick. I don't think anybody understands. Like, I literally, I was sick. Like, smells and lights and, like, it was terrible. When people are like, pregnancy is a great thing. No, it's not.
I don't remember going on a bachelor party.
No. Yes. Yes, you did. You, Dad, Tim, Bob Barker, Bob Burger, Frank, Randy. All of you guys went down to 21 Odyssey for your bachelor party.
I really don't remember that.
Yeah.
She's talking 2001 Odyssey.
See, and Mom's
If you know, you know.
Yeah, you guys all went down there.
I really don't remember that.
Yeah. Dad used to love to tell me about that. I was like, can you not tell me? It's great.
I don't know, but like you see like stories of like your bachelor party before you get married. And I remember like my dad's. He told me like he was almost late to the wedding. Like they like overslept and everything, and I remember that, and I was just like I was so like scared. Like I don't want to oversleep, and and I think like dude, I think we like crashed out like before midnight.
And I think I was asleep before that because
I remember going to bed and like them two crashed on the couch and then like I went to bed and I remember like laying in bed. I'm like, this is so stupid. It's like I'm in here before my wedding and I'm by myself. I'm like, this is dumb. I don't get it. But anyway, so I just remember like going to bed and I didn't really sleep good that night. And I remember I woke up the next morning.
It was raining.
I don't remember what time we had to be at the church, but I remember I woke up.
It was in the afternoon.
Yeah, maybe like noonish or something. But I remember I woke up and you could hear the rain on the roof. And I was like,
and our reception was outside. We had spent the week before. My grandmother lived on 5 acres of property, and she had these huge pine trees or oak trees in her backyard.
Hung lights everywhere.
And we put Christmas lights all in these trees. The tables were under the trees. Like cool. It was going to be this really pretty outdoor in October, which in Florida you don't have bugs. It's nice and not hot but not cool. Yeah. So it was like comfortable. And so we were going to be outdoors, and it was going to be great. Fine. Yeah. Woke up that morning.
Yeah, I think it rained all day.
Pouring down rain.
Yeah, at one point I remember it was like pouring
down rain, and I remember thinking, "What am I going to do now? Like, what are we going to do now? Like, all these tables are already set up outside."
Like, and I remember. I'm sorry. Like before we get to all that, like, was it the day of our like rehearsal thing or the day before? I remember someone told me like, "Hey, did you get a groom's cake?"
No. That was on the wedding day. No. Yes, it was too. Yeah. So here we are. Anthony and Tim comes over.
Never heard of a groom's cake.
Anthony and Tim come over, luckily, and my grandmother had a carport on the side of her house that was big enough for 3 cars.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
And so we crammed all the tables up underneath the carport.
Yeah.
So then once we got that done, I'm thinking, okay, nothing else bad is going to happen. Right. So we had picked up the cake the night before, the wedding cake. The morning, my mom goes, "Did Anthony get a groom's cake?" And I went, "What's a groom's cake?"
Yeah, never.
I don't even know what a groom's cake is. And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Serena, he has to have a groom's cake." And I'm like, "What is it?" And she's like, "If he goes to Publix, just tell him that he needs a groom's cake." So I call Anthony. I'm like, "Hey, I need you and Tim to go to Publix and pick up a groom's cake." And he goes, "What's a groom's cake?" And I was like, "I don't know. Just go to Publix and tell him you need a groom's cake."
I went there and they're like, I was like we're in our tux, like we're ready to do this thing. And I'm like walking in, I was like, "Hey,
we need a groom's cake."
You guys make groom's cake? And please don't tell me it's going to be like $300.
And the lady goes, "It's just a chocolate cake with fruit on it."
I'm like,
and Anthony goes, "I don't even like chocolate cake." And she goes, so he gets a groom's cake.
I got a stupid little chocolate cake.
So, but before all of that, it's raining. Our dog gets out of the house and cuts himself like down his chest, cuts himself, blood everywhere. Anthony's calling me, freaking out because our dog is bleeding everywhere. And I'm like, I have to go home. Like, the dog is hurt. And at the time, yes, at the time, I'm pregnant, yes. But this dog, like, that's our kid.
That was our dog.
Yeah.
We got the dog together.
Yeah. And so, like, I'm like, I have to go. Like, Ralphie is bleeding and I got to go and find out what's going on.
What a name for a dog, Ralphie.
I was like,
great.
I was like, well, I have to go. And Mom's like, no. I told him to take him up to the vet and I'd pay for everything. Yeah. So the doctor.
I think I had to rush him to the vet and leave him there.
Oh,
I think I just left him. Like, I told the lady, like, hey, I'm getting married like in a couple hours. I gotta go. I mean,
so
like, they just left him.
We left the dog at the vet. It's raining outside.
I think the next day your mom went and picked him up.
The groom's cake.
And we haven't even got to the church yet.
Yeah. So we get there. We get to the church.
And I remember, before we get to the church, because I remember, the day prior, because I knew, we were, after the wedding, we were cruising Tennessee with
after
your sister
the reception.
After the reception. So, it was going to be that night. We're going.
Yeah.
So, I'd have all the bags packed and did all that stuff. And, everything was in the back of the truck. So, we just had to go. And I remember, the day prior or something, I totally cleaned the truck and, waxed it and cleaned it like we're going on our honeymoon, and then it's raining. So I was so mad. So, on top of everything else.
Oh, and to go back. So, getting to our wedding, I had bridesmaids, or not bridesmaids, but flower girls. So I
forgot about that.
One was Tim's sister.
Sure.
Right. And another one was Anthony's cousin, Courtney. Okay. Now, Anthony's side.
They're both little things.
Yeah, they were 8 and 9 years. Sherry was younger than that.
3 or 4. Maybe.
No. Sherry was 5 or 6.
Young girls.
Courtney was 7 or 8. Anyway, Anthony's side of the family is larger. Sherry was teeny tiny, and Courtney is a little bit bigger. So I took them both to this bridal shop that we got everything through. I took them both down there and I said, pick you out whatever dress you want. Mm-hmm. I don't even care what dress you get because we're renting them. Yeah, get whatever dress you want and I'll pay the rental fee. It's no big deal. Anthony's uncle and aunt is there with me at the time because they had brought Courtney down there. Sherry picks out this little dress and it almost looks like a wedding dress. So Courtney goes and finds a dress and she's happy with this dress. She loved this dress.
I remember my uncle
it was the prettiest little dress on her. She looked cute in it. I paid the rental fee for this dress. The morning of the wedding, I get a phone call. Anthony, he's like, did you not get Courtney's dress? And I went, yes, I got Courtney's dress. I was like, it's here. I'm waiting for Courtney to come over and get her
calling
dress.
Me, give me a hard time with the dress. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
So I'm like, of course I bought her a dress. Well, you didn't get her the same kind of dress that Sherry got. And I'm like,
gosh, I remember my uncle giving me
a hard time. I don't understand. And then he's like, they're talking about not coming. My grandfather, my grandmother, my uncle, my aunt's going, I'm coming.
My side of the family was not going to come. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It was like, this is
over a dress. So Courtney comes and she's got on a totally different dress, which I was okay with. She still as cute as a button.
No, it was he didn't like the dress.
He didn't like the dress that Courtney had picked out, and he thought I had picked it out for her. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
And when I showed up and I seen her the dress, I'm like, hey, the dress looks awesome. And she's like, yeah.
And Sherry's like, your aunt was like, well, Jenny Sue or somebody made the dress for her. And I was just like,
oh.
I was like, are you flipping kidding me?
It's like, we're not even there yet,
I was like, okay, whatever. So
can this day get any
better? Oh no, it does. It gets so much better. So I'm in the back, right? And everybody's starting to come in for the wedding. And I still don't even have my dress on.
I think we showed up. Let's say the wedding starts at 4, we'll just say. And like, I think I rolled in at like 3-ish, 3:15. And
they're fighting in the back.
And I walked through into the church, and like as soon as you walk into the church, off to the side, and that's where all the women were, and I could hear it, and I'm like,
my sister, both my sisters, and Anthony's sister are all fighting, screaming at each other, yelling at each other, fighting, and I'm just like.
And she's just sitting there.
I haven't got my dress on.
And there was a couple times I was about to go back there and be like, we don't have to do this because we already have the piece of paper. Like, we can roll out now.
I was told that, because I didn't go and get my hair done, because I was told that somebody would French braid my hair for me, because that's what I wanted, and that somebody would French braid my hair for me. And so I was like, okay.
That never happened.
No, never happened.
Your hair was down like it is now?
Yeah. Except for it was permed, but it was down.
I don't remember that.
And I was sick. No one helped me put my dress on. I got my niece dressed because everybody was fighting. And then all of a sudden, like, it was, your mom goes, okay, we're going to take pictures now. And I'm like,
yeah, so my mom and her new husband were taking pictures.
Because that was our wedding present.
That was going to be their gift to us, was all the pictures, which was, hey, that's awesome, thank you. And I remember my mom came out there and she's like, yeah, it's not good back there. And I was like, I'm just going to go back there and get ready and we can just leave. I don't give a damn,
It was like, they were like.
And I don't know how many times I like talked to Pastor Hogan, and I don't know how many times I apologized. Like, I remember at one time.
The wedding was supposed to start at 4, because I think it was 4. And it didn't start until like 5.
Yeah. So I remember sitting on the stage, and there was like, I remember there was like a picture. It was like me, my best man Tim, Jeff, and
my
brother, and Jeremy. And like, we're all sitting there, and I remember looking at Tim like, what the hell's going on? And he's just like, I don't know, man. I'm like, and he's like, and remember he said too, he's like, do you want to leave? I was like, we're going to go back there and grab her. He's like, I got your back. And I'm like, we'll just leave,
Finally, I put my dress on. I put my veil on.
And then, finally, like, I think finally somebody came out, maybe it might have been mom or somebody, like, okay, we're good. Yeah,
Debbie kept going. Debbie, sometimes I think if Debbie hadn't been there, it probably wouldn't have happened. Because, like, my mom was over there trying to fix my sister and make it where my sisters, where they weren't fighting anymore. And then your mom was with your sister, who was drunk. And I was just like, is everybody for real right now? Like,
it's
we're
not even
really going to happen? Do
the
this?
The only person, like, this is her day, and
nobody cares.
Everyone, it's falling apart, and all I want to do is just leave,
And so we finally, Debbie goes, "All right, we're going. Let's go. You just ready? Yeah, you got your dress on?" And I went, "Yep."
So Debbie is Tim's mom, and basically, like, she was there for me when I was growing up. She's basically like a second mom. So
she's like, all right, we're doing this. And I was like, all right, let's go. So she gets my sisters and everybody gets them down the thing. The doors close. My dad didn't even come to walk me down the aisle. It was a friend of ours from the bowling alley. So we're standing there, and I took my shoes off because I had a long line bra on. And it was pushing on my stomach. And I kept telling him, I was like, you can't walk fast because I literally will throw up all over this church. And he's like, okay. And then he turned out and he goes, the doors are closed. And then I went, yeah, I know, because they're about to play the music. And he goes, we can leave right now. And I was like, not without Anthony. I'm not leaving without Anthony. And he's like, all right, let's do this. And I was like, let's do it. And they opened the doors and I tripped 2 times, and he grabbed me and he goes, I've got you. And I was like, all right. And we get down the aisle,
And I remember, like, when you're walking down the aisle and, like I see you, and I'm like, oh, thank God she's coming. It's like, but I remember I kind of, like, glanced off to the side. Like, I looked at, like, you know how they got, like, the groom side and
you couldn't even look at it. I had to look straight ahead.
But I'm looking, you're.
Oh, yeah.
So I look at it, like, on, Serena's side of the family, and I see everybody, and they're all like, and I look at my side, and, like
they're all pissed off.
My grandfather, my uncle, they're all like,
yeah. And his dad isn't happy.
And I'm like, yeah, obviously my dad and my mom are right up front, and my dad's date, and my what do we call it, stepfather?
Yeah.
So he was all there, and his family was all there, and they were all happy. But then, like, just they were just like mean mugging, just like, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Just like,
So we get through the wedding, and the pastor says, is there anybody here?
That was a big joke,
Is there anybody here that has anything to say why these two should not get married? And I'm thinking Anthony's family's going to stand up and say, and they're going to be like, nope, I don't think so. And all of a sudden,
I probably would have just grabbed you and just like, we're gone.
All of a sudden,
I don't need your guys' approval.
Turn around, and two of Anthony's dad's friends go to stand up, and I went,
it was all just a big
sit down.
Just a big joke, But I remember I just remember once Pastor just started doing his thing, and everything else, I just forgot about everything else. I just like, like, let's go, let's do, like, I was like, I remember, like, he's telling me, he's talking, I'm like, this is taking forever. And like,
I remember that, but then I remember afterwards, like, after the wedding is done, everybody leaves, obviously, and we have to do pictures inside the church.
Like, I'm ready to go, man. It's like, we had to take all those pictures. Like, another half hour, 45
minutes of taking pictures. And I was just like, okay, great.
I was like, I kept telling Mom, and I told some other people, it's like, I've only rented this church for like a couple hours. It's been 3 hours, Not that anybody else has rented it past me, but I mean, he wanted to shut it down. He wanted to go to the reception and do it.
So, like, I was just like, can we hurry up and take these pictures? Like, I don't care. Like, let's just get through them. So we keep doing pictures and pictures and pictures. And then my mom comes over, and she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, the truck isn't here. And Anthony immediately...
Oh, I lost it.
He's like,
nobody drove my truck. It was my truck.
He's like, what do you mean my truck's not here? And she goes, well, so-and-so drove the truck back to the house.
Somebody that I didn't even know.
And I was like,
so mad.
I was like, oh my gosh.
And first of all, I don't even remember.
I don't remember giving the keys.
I think I gave my keys to Tim or Dad or somebody, like, hey, hold my keys. Because, like, I think that, like, because, like, the tux, like, there was no pockets. I think that's what it was. I think, it's like, but,
But I just remember her going, the pickup truck's not here. And then Anthony was mad.
I was like, why didn't anybody tell me? No one told me this.
She had gotten an antique car for us to drive or ride in back to the house, which was cool.
It was super cool. Unexpected.
But it would have been better if, like, she would have said, hey, Tim drove Anthony's truck back to...
She could have lied. And I would have been like, okay, cool. That's all she had. Just lie to him,
So, we get back to the reception.
I remember riding in the car to your mom's house, and I just remember us, like, just laughing and just like, and you were trying to tell me some of the stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it. And I'm like,
so bad.
It doesn't matter. He's done.
It was so bad.
It's like, like, hey, we did it.
We did it.
We did it. It's like, oh my gosh, we're actually married. It's like, and you're pregnant.
So we get back to the reception, right? So
which is kind of cool because we pulled up. And we get out, and, like, everybody's there, and, like, yeah. I'm like, okay, stop cheering, can we eat?
Yeah. So we get there. So Dad comes up to me I don't even think Dad comes up to me and he says, I thought we were all sitting out under the trees. And I said, well, I know, Dad.
So, by this time, I think it stopped raining, but it was just like at a point, it was like, do you want to move all this stuff again?
But Dad's thing was, Anthony's mom and dad got a divorce because Anthony's mom had an affair.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And the guy that she had an affair with was at our wedding.
Yeah. And I remember my mom said something to me. She's like, and I remember I seen him, and like he was there with his friends and everything, and he brought a date. Like, I remember, but I remember
really,
seeing.
I thought it was T's girlfriend.
I don't know. Anyway, I just remember my mom was like, "Is it okay if he's here?" I'm like, he's already here.
He's here.
I'm gonna make a scene at my wedding. Like, get the hell out of here, And I remember my dad was so
mad, and rightly so.
Oh yeah.
Rightly so. And so I remember him coming up to me going, I thought we were sitting out under the trees and spread out. And I was like, Dad, it was raining this morning and we had to bring the tables in, and we just didn't have enough time after it stopped raining to take all the tables back out. And he's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, there was no alcohol at our wedding because we were pregnant and we didn't drink.
All of
a sudden, there was a bunch of alcohol at our wedding.
And your mom got so mad. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
I think Dad called all of his friends that were at the wedding.
Bring your stuff.
Stop by the stores and stock up.
I remember I seen Dad, when we got to the reception, and he gave me a big hug and everything and told me how proud he was. And I gave him a hug, and I said, if you're not okay with him being here, I'll tell him to leave. And he said, no, don't worry about his son. And I was like, oh my gosh. So he's like, don't worry about it. We'll be all right. So, all right. And I remember, a couple times, I see Dad, and I'm looking, I'm like, where's he at? And he's like, way over there. Good call, but you might want to stay over there,
So we get there, and I had to take my dress off. I had to take.
But we got a couple pictures before,
with the cake and everything, and I still had my dress on. No, it wasn't so much the dress; it was the bra.
The bra. I mean, you took that off, but you kept the dress on.
Yeah, I had to take the long line bra off. The hoop skirt, I had to take that off. All of it was just pushing on my stomach.
I remember telling you, I'm like, hey, you got to do what makes you comfortable.
Right.
Like, if you want to take the dress off, take it off. I really don't care.
So I go inside to take all the stuff underneath the dress off and leave the dress on. And all of a sudden, I'm doing all this stuff by myself, and all of a sudden, I hear more fighting. And I'm going, okay, now what's going on? My sister comes in, and she says, oh no, my mom comes in. Go out there and talk to your sister. I said, why? What's going on? They're leaving because I'm spending more time with you. And I'm like, they can't leave because we're all leaving together.
Yeah.
I was like, it's fine, whatever. I don't care anymore. I was like, I literally got to that point. I remember I was crying because of that. And I came to tell Anthony, and he's like, he turned around and looked at me and he goes, I will tell all these people that they have to leave.
Sorry, party's over.
He's like, and you can eat whatever food you want. And he goes, if you don't want to eat any of this food, you don't have to eat this food. He's like, we can put it in a cooler. You can nibble on it or do whatever. Yeah. He's like, it does not matter, Serena. He's like, doesn't matter. And I was like, all right, fine. And so I remember eating a little, and then everybody was like, it was starting to get late, and we were like,
it's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
Which was cool because we wanted to get on the road. I was like, I wanted to go.
So everybody started leaving. They kept coming up to us and giving.
I talked to Jeremy and I said, hey, I know you guys want to leave. Can you just give us just a couple minutes and we'll all leave together? He's like, that's cool. I want to do that, So
we did the cake, which we didn't even get any. Yeah, we just got the slice.
We did
the slice back and forth.
And we didn't do the smash in the face thing. No. It's I didn't, people were going crazy to do it. And I was like, I didn't see the point. But I remember, I specifically told your mom, I was like, we got barely any of this cake. I was like, He's like, I don't really care about the groom's cake because I'm not like a big fan of chocolate cake, but like, this was our damn wedding cake.
And it was red velvet and cream cheese.
So I was like, save the top. Because that's what you do. You're supposed to do.
And save some of the cake for us.
A couple slices. So when we get back home,
we can have some of the cake. And it was homecoming that night.
Yeah, something around that.
And my sister's friends
showed up after we left.
After homecoming and ate everything.
Destroyed the food, the cake,
all of it.
Everything. And I remember, like, I talked to your mom, like, I think you talked to her, like, while we were in Tennessee and everything, and your mom's like, yeah, they ate all the cake.
We got the top piece, and that was it.
I was like, I don't even remember tasting it. It was like, so we got the top cake. And you know how the thing is, like, on your anniversary, you're supposed to, like, take the cake out. And we saved it.
Yeah.
We saved it.
It was terrible.
It was disgusting. And it was like, we threw it away.
It was so
I was like, I remember it was like, whose idea was this? And like, this is dumb.
So bad. It was so bad.
Yeah, so if you're going to save cake, don't. Just go buy a cake and tell yourself it's the one from your wedding. It was like, you try to cut into it, and you're like, it's like cardboard. I don't know.
It was so bad.
But I just remember, like, getting to that point of, like, all I wanted to do was, like, I told Jeremy, I was like, we got to get on the road. We got to get on the road, man. Because, they lived in Tennessee, obviously. And we're going back to Tennessee. We're going with them. And I think we spent, like, a week and a half in Tennessee. And we, man. That was a
long trip because we drove like an hour, and then I'd have to pull over. We'd have to pull over because I got sick, and then we'd drive for another.
And there again, before cell phones, so we lost them
a couple of times.
And like I kept stopping on the road, and like trying to find them, see if they drive by us, and they never drive by us. So I just kept on driving. Then a couple times, like before. I think once we got through Atlanta, I'm like, I gotta stop. I was like, I gotta stop, and I literally just pulled off on the interstate and went to sleep. I was like, that's ridiculous. Why would you do that? Yeah. I remember sleeping in the truck on the interstate. Cops nobody ever did. Just trucks are barreling by you doing 80 miles an hour, and just a couple lunatics that just got married sleeping on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah. And my brother thought it would be funny to write on the back of our pickup truck, Prego, it's in there.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of annoying because, like, even like days later,
after I tried
to wash it and I couldn't get it off, and so mad that was on there for like weeks. I think after a while I got tired of seeing it, so I was like, I rolled it up. It's like, but I just that trip was hard getting up there, and and we had a great time. Like once we got there, but I just remember like that night we drove all night and got to Tennessee like sometime in the morning. And
we stayed at my brother's house or my sister's house for that night, and then we went to Gatlinburg the next.
I think, or did we? Because didn't he have to work a couple nights or something?
And then we went to
something like that. But it was just like not the typical honeymoon that you would think that like you always hear of and this and that. And just
we went to Tennessee, and then we hung out with my sister and my brother-in-law and their baby.
Yeah. So like if you, well, I'm like, what would have been like your ideal like honeymoon? Like if you weren't pregnant and
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have mind going to Gatlinburg if it was just us.
I probably would have. I think we did talk about this. Later. It's like we probably should have like stayed at the wedding, and it's like your brother and sister, or your sister and Jeremy wanted to leave, and they can leave, and we probably should have just gone back to the apartment and went to bed and got up in the morning and just cruised, and caught up with them the next day,
Yeah.
But I don't know, we just wanted to leave, and I get it. Like that day was just like the only way it's gonna be done with. We gotta leave. We gotta get out of here, and it's just, oh my gosh, man! It was just, I remember driving, and you were sick, and you're sleeping, and over there, and I'm driving. I'm looking at you, and I'm just like, I felt so bad. It was like, why did we get married? Like, she's so damn sick. I was just like she's gonna look back on this later and be like, this is your fault.
No. No. But I literally, like, ugh, it was terrible. And then trying to walk through Gatlinburg and just be, like, I just kept telling everybody, I was like, you guys go out. It'll be fine. Like, I'll just stay
Yeah, I
here.
didn't go nowhere. I was like, I'm not leaving without you.
I was like,
I think we did go to Gatlinburg, like, by ourselves one night.
But I just remember going, just go. It's okay. Like, I really don't feel like walking. I don't feel like getting up and doing anything. I don't feel like it.
Yeah, I remember, like, you went to sleep, and basically, like, the front of, the cab of the truck is very tiny. You get 3 people in there, and you're like this. So just me and her, and basically she just
I laid down,
put her head on my lap, and I just
sleep.
Put the truck in 5th gear and just hammer down and go, and then that's it, And hopefully I didn't need to slow down,
Yeah.
But that was that whole day. It's like, why do people gotta fight and argue? And it's like, it's not even your day. Do you even realize what you're doing? And it's like, and I remember it's like, we're gonna be talking about this forever, and it's like, I hope you guys are happy. I remember talking to someone at one point, like, I hope you guys are happy. You almost freaking ruined this for us. Like, our day, more your day than anything. But it's like, you almost ruined it. Oh man, this still makes me mad.
I think if I could have gone back and done it all over, like, I still would have gotten married in October. But I think that I would have done like an outdoor wedding, like I wanted. And
oh, you imagine if we would have planned on having an outdoor
in the rain.
Like, we would have got married in a carport.
What was so funny is, like, that next.
That would have been like.
I think like that next year, Alanis Morissette came out with Ironic, and in the song she talked about it raining on your wedding day. I was like, it did. So yeah, I mean, in the end, it's a day. Like, it's the day. Like, I look back at it now and I'm like, it was a day. Like, that's the only way I can look at it. Like, it was just another day in our life,
Another crazy day.
Another in our life. Would I have changed it?
Oh gosh, no.
Probably not.
If we would have had just a plain Jane wedding, we might be sitting here talking like, damn, our wedding was boring. At least you weren't like I remember going to like a friend's wedding that was Catholic. Oh my god!
I remember that. We had to go
stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up. I'm like, what are we doing? You're just like, what's going on here?
He kept looking at me. He's like, are we going to do this at our wedding? And I was like, no.
Should we? We're not Catholic. Should we be doing this? And she's like, I remember I looked over you and you're like, I don't know. I'm like, everybody else is okay. We'll stand up. It's like. Oh,
I don't know.
That was confusing,
But, I mean, I wouldn't change our wedding.
Oh gosh, no.
For anything, but it definitely was a trip and a half, Now, like, we're going to be married 27 years. Would I like to have it done? Like, would I want to do it again? Maybe. Like, renew our vows and do it the way that I want to do it. Yeah.
What's a good year to do that? 30-ish?
Sure.
You like that?
Sure.
Where would we do it?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. We used to
go to a beach. Everyone goes to a beach.
I don't either. I don't like beaches. Yeah. If I did it, like, I wouldn't want to steal from my sister, but like a river, because.
Oh, that was cool. You tell that.
My sister and my brother-in-law, me and Anthony talk about how rough our life was, and our life was rough. My sister and brother-in-law, like, they literally were in the trenches. Like,
oh yeah,
it was rougher than ours, and so like they made it to 25 years. That was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. No, it wasn't 3 years ago.
2 years ago.
Maybe we'll say two. We'll say 2.
So 26 years. Because they've been married a year before us. Mm-hmm. So 26 years. And so, or yeah, whatever. Anyway, so they decided to renew their vows.
Yeah.
And so they called and they're like, hey, we're renewing our vows. You got to come up here and da 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 da. We were the only, us and their kids.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. So here we go. We go up to this river.
Like waist deep in this river.
We all have on waders. We're all like over there getting in this river. And my niece.
Nobody was around.
Yeah. My niece, she's doing the like ceremony.
Yeah.
Like she's doing all of it. Me and my other niece, we're taking pictures. And then after the
Trinity end of was with us, right?
Trinity and Taylor.
Taylor was there?
Yeah. After the end of it, we're all in the river and we're fishing.
Yeah, we're going fishing.
Then we went back. And we got back before 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We all sat down and ate breakfast together. It was the best day ever. Like, so I wouldn't want to like steal from them, but I would love to do something like that. Except for like make it a whole weekend thing and be like, we're camping.
Yeah.
And
at a campsite.
Oh, and then like here we are. We're gonna get married on Friday or early Saturday morning. Then we're all camping in like this huge campsite where everybody's tent is like all in the same campsite.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That would be
like that. That's cool.
I would love that.
That's cool. When they renewed their thing, was it on their anniversary? Or was it just a random date?
No, on their anniversary.
Okay.
But I would love to do that.
That's a good idea. I like the campsite.
I would like to do that.
Now we just gotta find a good campsite.
Yeah. A big one. Because it's gotta be big. Because I'd want Jessica and Jeremy there.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Tim
and Charity.
Yeah.
Charity wasn't there for the
first time, but I would like for them there.
If Jeff and Kara could come, I don't know, but
I don't know. See, I don't know if I would want it really big, but I would.
That's too many people.
Yeah, I want
it. You just said all these tents.
Yeah, our kids, Jessica and Jeremy, their kids, and then Tim and Charity. They got to bring Peyton. Cole won't come, but they'll have to bring Peyton. So, like, there's a tent for Peyton. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like. But that, to us, that's family.
Yeah.
That's our family. So that's who I would want there, But yeah, I would love to do that.
Dude, that's an awesome idea. It's going to happen. Okay. Now we just got to figure out when.
Okay. But that would be, to me, that would be the best ever, and just be outdoors and hanging out and like in October, let's say we did it in Tennessee or Georgia.
It's gonna be cool.
It's going to be nice and cool. And so I just think that would be like the best time ever.
Here in Florida, you can be sweating it down.
Oh, I don't want to do
it. It's October now. Oh, you said it's October. It's early October right now. And like, Saturday. So yesterday I worked Friday. Sweated it down, man. Like
90 degrees.
7 o'clock in the morning, I'm sweating it down, and I'm like, dude, I don't like this. No. When it's fall, it's fall.
I think that would be fun to do like that. I think I would love that. Us in just our t-shirt, and our jeans, and our sweatshirts, and
there we go. We'll have to make it happen.
Having Ty or Caitlin, do it, and that would be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. So we are up to the point, like, we are married, and we're about to have a kid.
Woo!
We have no idea what the hell we're doing. No. Remember, we had those books.
What to expect while you're expecting.
Lies. They don't. You don't know. You know when you figure it out when you get home from the hospital.
Yeah.
Golly, we'll get into that next episode. Our firstborn. That was an interesting day too.
Everything with us is an interesting day.
So when our second born, was that a crazy day at the hospital?
Well, only because she was sideways and they had to move her.
I mean, like.
No, it was
like
fine.
Family BS?
No.
I don't think so.
No. When our third one was born, it was BS from family.
I don't remember that either. That's another.
Watch Taylor.
Oh gosh. So we'll get to that next episode. Our firstborn. We're going to be parents.
Parents. Us.
We were married 5 months, and
here comes a baby.
Here comes a baby. If you like it or not, here we go. You know. I can tell you. I'll save that one for the next episode. But episode 3 in the books.
No, 2.
No, 3.
3.
Yeah, man, cruising. So, if you like this, give it a like and subscribe, and throw some comments down there. Send us an email at foreverencountinglove@gmail.com, and we'll go from there. I guess, is there anything else?
You said it all.
You said a lot.
Well, there's a lot to say. I left out some parts. Like your mom calling me and telling me I needed to change the colors of the wedding because she couldn't find a dress. We got married in October. Okay. The colors of our wedding were black and silver. October. And she told me she couldn't find a dress. Couldn't find a color.
We're going to have a baby. It's crazy, like, to sit and talk about, like, we're going to have a baby because, like, Serena's sister.
My niece has a baby and is pregnant with another baby.
So they're like grandparents times 2. And
our kids are not.
It's funny because, like, I was texting Jeremy today, and I was telling him we were talking about his daughter, and he's like, man, I said, dude, that's freaking amazing, I'm so happy for you guys and this and that. I was like, the way it's going down here, it's like, we may never be grandparents. He's like, oh, it'll happen.
It will.
They'll give it time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, great.
Especially with Dean and Chris. Yeah.
But we need to wrap this one. So thanks for watching, everyone. And check out the first 2 videos in the series, Our Story. And
he doesn't always yawn in these things.
No, it's getting late. It's getting dinner time. And
yeah.
All right. Until our next episode 4, we're gonna be parents.
Yay.
More scarier than getting married. All right, we'll talk to you guys next time.
Thank
you.
Bye.